Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm actually going to talk about this whole new release of the 2026 Super Glide and all the hype and all of the stars, literally already stars, aligning this company and trying to bring it up from the ground up. I'm not a hater of trying to make companies and services and like all this stuff better, right? I'm not a hater in that at all. If anything, I would love for Harley to get back to their original roots and be the motor company that they're originally intended to be. But I'm just not convinced, at least yet, that they're actually trying to make steps to do that. And obviously you guys kind of take what you will with it, right? Some of you are gonna walk away from this and be like, oh yeah, you're full of shit, like you don't know what you're talking about. And I apologize for the wind noise in advance. But here's my problem with this whole paradigm, them trying to now come out and entice us with a new Super Glide that I think is going to like magically wave a wand over us along with all the influencers that are pushing it and make us forget who we are as Harley riders, right? The main thing is Harley's trying to buy us and entice us with practically the same type of bike that we've already had. The Super Glide, at least the 70s version, looks dope, right? And there was a need for it at the time. But now they're just trying to take a Street Bob chassis and somehow, make us think that this is, going to be really, really good for all of us somehow to buy this. And the fact that they're limiting the supply of the actual bike itself to only 2,500 ever made. I don't know. I don't buy it. And to be honest, I saw the bike. I think the bike looks great. I mean, it is a beautiful bike. I'm not going to lie. Aesthetically, it looks pleasing to the eye. But you could get the same bike with the same engine practically. You could get the same bike with the same engine, just a little bit different of a setup in the Street Bob itself, the 117, right? Because the engine is essentially the same in the new Super Glide 2026 model, right? And the ergos are practically the same. It's just the Super Glide, I think, is slightly a little bit more heavy, and you pay $1,000 less. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, Harley's not doing you a favor. They're just trying to toy at a nostalgic pastime and bring it in today's market because they think that's what the rider actually wants. Now, there's going to be some dumbass Harley riders out there that fall for this, that actually go out and spend over $20,000 because we damn well know you ain't going to get it for what their MSRP is. You're going to pay about $5,000 to maybe even $10,000 in extra fees that Harley tags on. Now, $10,000, I'm being a little bit facetious here. It's probably not that much, but at least a good $4,000 to $5,000, especially if you live in California. So you're going to get a brand new bike. You're going to get a brand new bike with all the bells and whistles, except you're going to get the same chassis or the same engine with a different chassis and virtually the same features that you would get on a regular Street Bob. And this is the problem that I have with this whole idea that they're somehow doing us a favor. They're not doing us a favor, ladies and gentlemen. They are a marketing machine that doesn't really know how to bring back good bikes. And I commented on a video the other day where I was actually talking to this guy through this girl, her name's Becky, and I think she's with Axel Co. and she's in SoCal, she's in Long Beach. She's a really cool person. She seems like it. She was also on Laidlaw's podcast, Laidlaw Harley Davidson's podcast, and she drives like shovelheads and panheads, very older Harleys, which are great. I think I'm always a fan of those. I think those are great. That's like the iconic Harleys, right? The panheads, the shovelheads, knuckleheads. Maybe not the knucklehead. Knucklehead is like 20s and 30s, but the shovelheads and the panheads are, through the 80s, what made Harley great, and then following that was the Evo. But she was on here, and I kind of lost respect because clearly she's getting a brand deal from Harley and these other manufacturers that, I don't know, are obviously giving her some type of incentive. And here she is, she's out and about talking about how great the bike is, this and that. But yet she's the old school chopper chick. Like, girl, what are you doing? But I get it. She's getting paid to do it. She's partnering with Harley. She made even a comment on a podcast saying that Harley helps her pay for a rebuild on her bike. That's great. But for the average rider and most of us out here, we just want to hear the real facts, man. We just want to hear the real truth. And I know people are going to rush to conclusion and say, well, you haven't even ridden the bike. It's like, yeah, but I've ridden the Street Bob 117. And more than likely, except the ergos, the engine's going to feel the same because it is the exact same engine. And don't get me wrong, that's probably one of Harley's most powerful engines that they've created. But sometimes, power and torque and all this stuff, especially torque is really good on Harleys, don't get me wrong. I mean, listen to that. Don't get me wrong, for sure. Getting back to it, in my opinion, especially because they're trying to curb emissions with all this, emissions crap, I always call it, bring back more engines. It's not necessarily about how the bikes aesthetically look, how they feel, the heaviness. You need to bring back, this is my humble opinion, less powerful Harleys that kind of started this whole Harley Davidson scheme, right? Bring back bikes that look and sound aesthetically pleasing to the naked eye. Not make all their bikes look like every other M8 that comes out every single year. And for the new rider, they don't necessarily need all this power and torque. And that's the whole point of Harley, at least in recent years, is that they're trying to tug on the newer generation, the younger generation, to basically come up and buy these bikes at an affordable price that keeps their bloodline going, right? That keeps the Harley soul going. Their Back to Bricks model is to kind of revitalize the old Harley name, the old Harley theme, like all these, wonderful attributes that Harley once had. But you're not going to do it by, producing the same 117 Milwaukee 8 and then going to a 121 the next year and slapping it on a bobber like a Street Bob. That's too much power and torque, even for a Harley, for a brand new rider. And I understand they have this idea that they want the Sportster, the Iron, well, I don't even know if it's going to be an Iron 883. We're just told that it's a Sportster, and it's going to be an 883 air-cooled engine. We don't know if it's going to be the Evolution. We have no idea. Chances are it won't be. They'll create some new, maybe Milwaukee Evolution engine or so. I don't know. Air-cooled engine. I don't trust them, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm saying to you. And don't be surprised if you're let down, to be honest with you. I was listening to Artie Stars, and I will say he sounds like a decently credible guy, but I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him, especially because there's a lot of people on the internet that have buzzed about, Harley being super woke and DEI and like all this shit. And it's true, like they are, and they were at least, and I still think they secretly are. And some of the leadership team that they have with Harley is still like that, right? They have the wrong people working for Harley. I hate to say it, and that's why I'm saying to you, as my, the small audience that I have, and for the masses out there, I'm not saying stay clear of Harleys, but just pick and choose your purchase. Personally, I like the engine in the Street Bob. I do. I like the Milwaukee 117. I like the 114, and I've ridden the 107. I've actually ridden all three just for a short period of time. And to be honest, there are differences, but they're very, very subtle. They're not that much of a difference between the 107 all the way up to the 117. 117 off the line, for sure, it's going to pack instant power, and you're going to feel a little bit of a difference than a 107. But if you're coming from an 883 or a 1200 Sportster, or you're coming from a 103 twin cam, when you transfer up or when you power up to that Milwaukee 8, yeah, you're going to feel the difference, dude, but you're also going to lose the Harley soul and the feel of the bike. And that's one of the main reasons why it would be hard for me to give up entirely the Evo or the twin cam, even though the Milwaukee 8 has the power. It does, for certain. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, is it really soul catching? Is it really gonna knock my socks off? I just don't think so. Right? I just don't think some of the modern Harleys do that. Although power-wise, for sure, but like soul-wise, feeling that grunt, feeling that air-cooled Evo or twin cam beneath your legs here, man, like that rumble, that shake. I know a lot of people don't like it. There are a lot of people who get Harleys that want less shake, but for those traditionalists out there that are still left, like, we kind of want that. Now, I think they have to decide, where is their market going? And I hate to tell Harley, but you guys are still sucking, in my opinion. I think personally they need to bring back the twin cams and the Evos and then the Milwaukee 8s. I think they need all three engines, and I think they need to classify each chassis. Now they're going to say, well, that's too much overhead, that's too much legal requirements for this and that. And it's like, dude, look at Elon Musk, how many times he got sued, or Jeff Bezos in the early 2000s with creating the brand that they wanted to create. I mean, the government is always going to sue you. The EPA is always going to come after you. But in the end, a lot of that stuff can be mitigated. A lot of those people are paid off too. You can pay people off nowadays. So what difference does it really make? The sky is a limit, I always say. And I think Harley is limiting because they think that the Milwaukee 8 is like the one and done. Like, we're not going to make any other engine until they discontinue it. And they just give you the Revolution Max and then an iteration of the Revolution Max that is a revised version of it that's probably a less powered down version, and it's only liquid cool. You'll lose the whole purpose of an air-cooled V-twin. I mean, you're never going to hear like this, ladies and gentlemen. You're never going to get another Harley that hears and feels like this, I'm telling you. I just wanted to come on here and just tell you, not to be a pessimist, but just to tell you in general, like, don't be too eager to just buy the latest and greatest Super Glide that Harley just produced. Wait like a year or two, maybe even 3 years with Artie Starrs being the CEO. Like, this guy is maybe 10 years on us until we get maybe a new CEO from Harley. So give it some time, give it some thoughts before you go out and you spend $20,000 plus on this brand new bike that they're trying to say, oh yeah, we've come down in price, reasonable to the consumer. Making a bike 15 to 16 grand is not reasonable. I would say for a Sportster 883, whoa, got a bug on my neck. For a Sportster 883, that bike is priced reasonable. I think it should be about 8 or 9 grand, but 10 grand, okay. But pricing any of those entry-level Softail models like the Street Bob or this new Super Glide, you go from 10 grand to then 15, 16 grand. No, bro. It should be about 12 grand for a Softail, entry-level Street Bob, and maybe for that Super Glide, maybe 13 or 14, if that. And honestly, I even think that that's pushing it. They are not worth that, ladies and gentlemen. So do not get ripped off. Do not think that you're magically getting some new deal. You're just going to get ripped off, and you're just going to be, honestly, She may or may not be pleased with it, to be honest. But I digress. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. You have a wonderful day. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.